Exercise 4. Let's try naming type 2 binary compounds. And by the way, type 1, type 2, type 3 compounds, they're not going to be posed to you like that on the AP exam, right? These are just types, and we call them types so that it's a little bit easier for you to memorize as we go through the learning process. All right, give the systematic name for each of the following compounds. So now we have copper and the chloride ion. So this is a little bit different because remember, copper is a transition metal. It can form either a +1 or a +2. Now, you don't have to remember that it's a +1 and +2 versus a +2 and +3. You don't have to remember that. What you do need to remember is that this chlorine is a representative element. It's only going to form a -1. And notice there's only one of them. And so, in order for the algebraic sum of the charges to be 0, this copper, this single copper, see how there's only one copper, must be providing a +1. Now, this is a transition metal, so I have to use the stock system and write its charge with no space as a Roman numeral, and then chloride. So I'm using the anion to deduce the cation's charge. So mercury, don't know what charge that is, but I do know that oxygen has a -2. It's got to be balanced out by a +2. There's only one mercury to do that, so that must be mercury, no space, 2, oxide. Run out of room here. There are 3 oxygens, so that's a total of -6. So we got to balance that out with a +6. There are 2 irons contributing the +6. So that means that that's going to be iron 3 oxide. That's manganese oxide. There are 2 oxygens, so that's a total of -4. So it's going to be balanced by a +4. There's only one manganese to provide that. Manganese 4. Right, remember, IV is Roman numeral for 4. Oxide. And then lastly, chloride has a -1 charge. There are 2 of them, so that lead has to balance out that with a +2. There's only one lead to do that, so it's going to be lead 2 chloride. Now, in both exercise 3 and 4, I've been writing these names with the cation on top, anion on bottom. That's not convention. I was just doing it to save space, so don't freak out about that. You can write them long way. That's fine.